Just remembering to save this piece off of the old inner sill and cut the rust off the end there. We've got a little section that we'll be adding in like that. We'll get him welded together. A couple of little bits to look at before we can get the floor in. This is the well, it would be the jack mount, but I'm just using it as a reinforcement between the inner and outer sill. Just tidying this off, and we'll get some weld through primer on here, and then getting down in here, removing paint, and we'll get weld through primer all in there, and then he sits. Line him up with my masking tapes, and he sits in there, and then we'll be able to get some spot welds along the top there. Probably have to just do a little bit of MIG welding down here to attach these. So there's that, and it's been forming up this piece of metal here. I've added an extra thick piece here because it would be easier to use this to weld onto the heel board rather than just that tiny little strip that I think it originally has. So we'll get that welded on there. That'll give us something decent to use, and yeah, we'll weld all along here, and we'll have a nice strong bottom edge here to weld down onto the floor. Time to get some of this. It's Tetraseal wax oil rust proof. So we've got some primer in here, then we've got some top coat in here, it's just some black, and now we're gonna, here we've got weld through because that's where it welds on, and we're gonna paint in some of this Tetraseal oil. Hopefully stop this one from rusting out. So there we have it, all down in there where the water will sit, if there is any water getting in there. That should give it many years of protection. So all the little things. So if you remember, there was a penny sized hole in there. Not sure why, something to do with the fact that it was a van panel. Got him a little bit of metal welded in there. So now I think we're getting somewhere. Here you can see the penetration of the spot weld to the jacking point. Yeah, we might be ready to start thinking about getting this in the car. Okay, gonna get this bit here welded up onto the bottom of our companion bin here, so we have something nice to weld down to the floor. We'll make sure it's all lined up well and get some nice weld on there so it's strong enough. Stabilise this with the screws and add a couple of others in, and then we've just put 3 spot welds. We'll see if we can actually fit this up to the car now, because I need this in exactly the right place. So test fit this up, take it back off, spot weld it all completely, maybe even do some of this welding down here. Let's find out if we can actually get it on like this. I know I can't get it on with this piece in. I can't get it in with this piece on, so we're going to have to fit that when it's in the car. That's what these little serrations are for, so I can come in with the welder there and basically do a plug weld along the top, because we'll be welding onto that skin there. So these will basically be plug welds from the inside. Here it is, fitted up again. So we're just going to check the subframe fits in nicely, and then we'll take it back down, finish all the welding that we can do off the car. So let's make sure the subframe fits. So you'll spy a subframe bolt through the hole down there. Here on the outside then, you can see obviously we've got the subframe bolted through. Obviously bolted up at the back and on the other side. What I'll do now is I'll just put some tacks on here, just so we don't lose reference position for this hillboard end to the sill. Do that, drop the subframe, finish welding this completely, and then we can put it up on the car. I see quite a few repairs of cars. A lot of people get hillboard ends that don't even have this section, or they weld them onto the car somehow. This is really important. It transfers all of the load from the subframe mounting into the inner sill here. So if you're doing a restoration, you need to make sure that you're connecting those two. We've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 10 spot welds on there. That should be plenty. I may even put a couple of tacks on here possibly. But yeah, if you're doing this, and I know it's difficult to get in there when it's on the car, you might even have to cut the sill, or possibly cut away some of the quarter panel, which would be here. So that's the other option I could have done. That's now connected properly. Let's move on to doing some of this welding here. Here we go, ready for welding then. Nicely clamped in and secured. Closed up the gaps nicely. So once that's plugged in, that will be nice and strong. Nice to finally have a solid floor on this side of the car. Obviously it's taken a lot of hours, as you can probably imagine. It's a long weld there. I lost the finish back and then paint and all the rest of it, but you know, we've got a solid floor all the way down now, so we can move on to the next section. Just show you some of this welds here. Here you can see plug welds there, down, spot welds all along here. There you can see them, and along this edge as well. Full length weld all the way down. You can see the replacement end of the hillboard down the back here. Let's show you up under here. Here's the new hillboard end. There we go. So that's nice and solid. You can see some plug welds coming through from the other side. There's the floor looking back the other way. Next up, it'll be this section here. We have a piece that basically goes straight along there, but I won't be using all of it. We'll cut down at an angle and then along here, keep as much of this quarter panel as we can, because this has got a slight curve in it and the replacement piece is totally flat. So if we just use as little as possible, that'll be making a nice repair there. Try and keep the heat out of the panel when we weld it, but we'll get onto that next time. Probably going to be quite a long time before that, because Christmas and holidays and all the rest of it is coming now. That was a big section. Thanks for bearing with us to get this done and get this video out. And yeah, not sure when the next one will be because of the holidays and Christmas and everything, but we'll crack on, and you know, I'll keep going until we get to the end. Loads more to go. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.